I used to really buy into the hustle culture that's so common in the US. But lately, as a family, we've been trying to take a weekly day of rest. And because of how my brain works, counterintuitive as it may sound, I'm going to give you a few of my rules for rest. 1. Most importantly, flexibility. So even though these are technically rules, they're self-imposed, there's no penalty for breaking them, and it's okay to give myself grace if I do. I don't even need to feel a little bit bad about it. 2. No commerce. This is actually the basis for why we decided to start taking a day off every week. At this point in time, we've specifically chosen Saturday for our day of rest. So why no commerce? Because when I participate in commerce, it usually necessitates someone else not getting time off. It doesn't really matter whether you're religious or not in this discussion, but in the Christian and Jewish traditions, honoring the Sabbath was partly a social justice issue. So you were not supposed to just you personally take the day off. You were supposed to take the day off, and your slaves and your family and your animals, everyone takes the day off. And I think that's something we forget. It's not just for our own benefit, it's for the benefit of all the people under us too, or all the people that work for us in some capacity. So when we're trying to decide what we do or what we don't do, the main question we're asking is, does what we are doing today require work from someone else? So going to the park, the public park that is open today and no one has to serve us in any way. I mean, someone might clean up on Monday or something, but no one has to be there monitoring us. That's fine. As far as I know, that's fine. But going out to eat, going to the store is something we try to avoid. 3. Only clean outside of our regular routine if it's driving me crazy. We have a little bit of a routine. I'm not great at cleaning. I'll be pretty upfront with that. But we do have a little bit of a routine where I empty the dishwasher in the morning, and in the evening Matthew does the dishes, and I pick up the living room and the public areas and then wipe down the table or whatever. We still do that routine, but other than that, I'm not going to do any other cleaning unless it's really bothering me, because there's no point to me sitting there and stressing about it. That's not restful for anyone. So if it's really bugging me, I'll go and clean, and it's fine. But what I can't do is assign chores for my husband to do on our mutually agreed upon day of rest, outside of his dishes and, the normal stuff. So we intentionally try to get other cleaning done on other days of the week. 4. Stay home or go to public spaces like the park. I already kind of mentioned this, but basically, it's not just commerce in this scenario. Because it's not restful for me to go out and interact with other people, we also try to avoid going to visit friends or family. For other people, that may not be something stressful. And I think the question then for other people is my presence in someone else's home stressful for them? 5. Sleep in. This one took me a while to do. I actually didn't change my alarm settings for months after we really started to be intentional about our day off. But I finally adjusted my alarm settings, so on Saturday, I'm not waking up till at least 6 o'clock, unless a child wakes up early or something like that. 6. Cook a meal intentionally. I think meal times for us can become so frenzied and such a chore that when we really try and slow down and cook something together and take our time with it, it helps us to enjoy it a bit more. To the extent that I'm able to enjoy cooking, which is small, but it's still something that we allow for on Saturdays in the way of work that maybe not everyone feels is acceptable for your day off. 7. Dream. This might be the more controversial point on here. The first time we decided to intentionally take a day off every week, I was going stir crazy. I was so bored because we were trying to be a little more strict about what we did or did not do. We were trying to really rest, which rest for other people might look a little different than rest looks for me. I was bored out of my mind. So one of the switches we made after a few weeks of this was that we have kind of a long-term dream of having a homestead and doing some garden work. And what we decided recently was to start growing things and dip our toes into selling plants. And so that's something I've allowed myself to really dig into and set aside this time partially for this dream that we have.